What is up, Frog fans? You are looking live at the final edition of Postgame Beers for the 2026 season. And oh, what a season it was. It's been a while since we've been on the air. Not going to lie, I wasn't too motivated to podcast after the season ended. I think our last time we were on the air was the selection show, which it came as a shock to nobody that TCU was not selected. But since then, boy, has things changed. For better or for worse, we will discuss. I'm your host, JD Sailors, joined by Ray and Martin. Glad to have you guys along for the ride tonight as we close out the season. What's up, boys?
Oh, man. I am freedom maximing these days, and I am so bought into USA.
I see your shirt.
Soccer, man. Dude. I love
it, dude. It's been – there hasn't been a whole lot of time to mourn TCU baseball because we had a banger of a College World Series, or, well, not just the College World Series, but the postseason in general. And then we roll right into the World Cup. So, you know.
I've been sportsing so hard the last month.
Sportsing hard for a summer?
I freaking love it. Dude, nothing will beat, and I will always remember Regional Friday. I feel like this was the best one yet that we've been treated to.
I'm going to jump right into that. That's on my list here on my run sheet.
Yeah, let's start with some good vibes.
Here's my statement on it's my favorite sports day of the year. Whether TCU's in it or not, it sure helps that TCU is in it. But I will say, of all the years for TCU to miss, I'm certainly glad it was this one. Because we would have been locked into a Friday game where TCU goes out and scores 2 runs on 4 hits.
You don't know that.
We would have missed 12 other games that were going on simultaneously that I am just blessed as a human on this earth to have been able to watch. That was of all of my favorite sports days of the year, which are Regional Fridays, that was the best one ever.
And it's highlighted by the fact, and what makes it so great is squeeze play.
Yes.
That would be 100%. Impossible to have watched without squeeze play, right?
It would be so overwhelming, we wouldn't even try.
You couldn't flip back and forth fast enough with these games.
No, what Mike Rooney and Berkey and the whole crew, what Budden, what's her name? Chris Budden.
Chris Budden.
What they do to their bodies from Friday to Monday, it's heroic.
Mike Rooney posting the shirt off picture.
Dude.
Superman.
Dude, I want to get Rooney back on the pod and I want him to walk through, does he train for 3 months? You really can't. Because he's covering baseball all year with D1.
And, dude, I had this thought, and everyone's like, man, y'all should do this more during the regular season. Y'all should do this more, right? Does it make it great that it is, saved for postseason? Make it, that much more special?
Yeah, some of the best things, you can apply this to a lot, but scarcity drives value.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have World Cup on the agenda tonight, and there's a lot of people saying USA should just host the World Cup every time. Well, what makes it great about being in the US is that we haven't done it in 32 years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know why we want to rush to just, indulge in everything that's good until, it's like, boy, this Snickers bar was pretty good. Let's have 12 more. Because that first one was so good.
I mean, that's the American way, right? That's the way capitalism works.
Max it out.
You see this in an example, along the lines of the World Cup is, I don't know if you followed the plight of Freddie, the German, right?
Yeah.
So he comes here, and at first it was very earnest and all that, and he's still trying to keep it that way. But now America's capitalistic machine is trying to dig its claws into Freddie because, the value of free advertising, right?
It's free yeah, right. Yeah, I don't think there's any kind of conspiracy going on.
No, I don't either.
It's just, man, if we can get this guy to tweet us one time, that's worth $600,000 in advertising costs.
Yeah, and so to connect the dots here, at first it was kind of like, oh, cool story and all that. Now it's now he's walking out like Ricky Bobby, just wearing every sponsor.
If it's one thing that I don't like is entities that over brand and over advertise. By the way, shout out to our sponsors, Anduno, Chinook Cedary, Long Drink, and of course Coors Light.
Oh, RRP Long Drink.
And I do love Fig Newtons.
Yeah. Jesus.
I mean, they kind of gave us a little taste of squeeze play earlier with the conference tournaments, right, this year?
It was yes. Yeah, and it was whatever.
Yeah, and then even that by itself shows that it's not going to be received the same.
It was like the last Friday of the regular season. That's what it was.
Yeah. But it's still nothing like regional squeeze play. There's nothing like that. I love turning on the first game, squeeze play, first pitch is like 10 a.m.
Yes.
You feel like there's anxiety in the room. Because like these guys have been doing it and everybody loves it, but it's like showtime, It's like the Super Bowl.
There's
first day of school.
The Super Bowl is one singular game. You get, let's see, there's 16 regionals and something like 6 games per. That's, I mean, you're flirting with 100 games there in a weekend.
Dude. And it goes till 1 a.m. in the morning. So, I mean, dude.
When you get rain delays and
you get weather, big weather.
If all that excitement is not enough just from a spectator, if you were able to participate in Curry Cup, now you're sweating out your picks.
Not this year. They went pretty much to shit pretty quick.
That's me every year.
So I was just riding the vibes of the good games that I mispicked on.
What went wrong for you? Who failed you the hardest? Like, or what philosophy? Like, if you went with all favorites, what did the favorites fail you? Or?
So I tried something new this year. I really shout out a friend, at least of Ray, Pear Analytics. And he was posting a bunch of stuff for regionals and all that. And he had all these win probability charts. And so I'd go through and I would pick, if I saw like a 3 seed had like a 25% greater chance or more, I'm like, okay, I'll pick them. This seems like good value there. Of course, went with the heavy favorites, UCLA. I thought UCLA and Georgia Tech were on a collision course for Omaha this year.
If things go poorly with those picks, everybody else picked them too.
But it just adds up over time, right? So I think one of my biggest misses was Arizona State. I was having trouble deciding between Ole Miss and Arizona State, and chose wrong.
I went Ole Miss there.
Jacksonville State, like they got so close.
So, without dwelling on this point, I won Curry Cup this year.
Boo.
And that's not really the point I want to make. I won because I think North Carolina was probably an obvious pick on that side of the bracket.
Yeah.
Given the teams that were involved, it's like Carolina kind of sticks out. Now, I was actually really shocked that me and like 2 other people, and the other 2 weren't, like I was top 10 going into Omaha. But nobody bet on OU to make a run. Nobody. Like I ran away with it because of OU.
Okay.
And I didn't think that was that bold of a pick by me.
No,
like everybody hits their wagon to Texas and Georgia in the College World Series. And I'm like, I don't know. I've seen this from OU before, 2022.
Yeah, they were.
I was not so sold on Georgia and Texas that I thought OU couldn't overcome them. Okay, now, so granted, the margins were thin. Like OU beat Georgia in that second game, that 1-0 game. I think it was like 3-2, and Georgia had the tying run on in the 9th. I mean, one swing of the bat, and my philosophy, falls apart. But it worked out for me this year. You need a little luck in Curry Cup.
Yeah, it takes a little luck along the ways. So I was surprised too with OU. I did whenever I made my Omaha picks for Curry Cup, I just kind of went through. I tried to pick who I thought no one else was going to pick, and just kind of tried to fade the public to make up points because I had a lot of points. So, but I was really surprised. Like I nailed the OU pick, not because I believed in OUs, just because I didn't think a lot of people would pick OU to win.
See, being in the top 10, you got to just forget about everybody else and just pick who you think is going to win.
Yeah.
And I really thought OU had a chance to make a run, like a good chance to make a run.
They were hot.
I'll be damned if they didn't win the whole thing.
Dude,
I didn't even pick the right champion.
I don't think people talk enough. I don't think people talk enough about the insane heater that Oklahoma went on. Like, what did they hit? Like 46 home runs in 19 games or something like that?
But I've seen them do it before. That's the thing.
I mean, they were the ultimate hot, cold, hot.
There were probably guys on this current roster that were on the 2022 team.
Maybe.
But so let me ask you this. So 11.7 called it the greatest tournament run in the history of any sport.
What OU did? I mean, it's up there.
It is. Like when it was Ben who was making this point, when he broke it down, because immediately I'm thinking 2011 Mavs.
I was thinking 2014 Ohio State.
We don't talk about 2014 in Ohio
College
State.
Football?
Yeah.
We don't talk about that. Get out of it. In fact, fuck you for saying that. Get out of here. Kick him out. Boo this man.
Yeah, it is tough to argue. It is a little bit of recency bias, but I don't know. I mean
they took down the ACC champion. They took down the Big 12 champion. And they took out the SEC champion. All three of those were both tournament champs and regular season champs.
Now, when you say ACC, are you talking about Georgia Tech or North Carolina? Because they had to slay both those beasts.
Georgia Tech was.
Well, then they took down North Carolina, who they looked unstoppable.
Yeah, North Carolina kind of had an easy run, I feel.
But they were playing so good, though. They were playing so. They got to the finals without a challenge.
Really, like who was it that Ryan, or is it Glaber? What's his first name? Ryan, maybe, I don't know. Glaber, fucking stud, dude.
For sure.
I if I had money to give to NIL, I would tamper the fuck out of him and try to get him in TCU purple.
Yeah, that's. So that is on the list to talk about, but let's not go there yet. Let's put a bow quickly on the 2026 season for TCU. And here's how I'll do this. I'll say, in a very short paragraph, tell me what went wrong with the 2026 season. Because we don't have to set it up that we were top 10, blah, 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 all the talent. Everybody knows.
I'll let y'all do that, but I will say, since I've been a fan of TCU way back since 2010, TCU baseball, this is the most disappointing season I've ever sat through with TCU baseball.
Yeah, it's got to be. Martin, you were texting just some tidbits about TCU missing the tournament and just how rare this era, this recent few years is. Do you have that handy or remember it off the top of your head?
I remember a few things like this is the second tournament we missed out of the last 3 years. The entire Schlossnagel era, I think he missed the tournament twice. This is the first time TCU had a lower batting average than their opponents since 2000. Was it 2003, 2004, something like that? I remember off the
What
top.
was the one about since Lupton opened?
Yeah, Lupton opened 2004.
Okay.
What specifically?
I guess it had to do with we hadn't missed the tournament in
Yeah. The
two out
season
of
that
3 years.
Lupton opened, I think, was Schlossnagle's like first year or second.
Okay.
Or,
Okay.
Um. Yeah, it was really bad. I mean, bad morale. I feel like they obviously had the talent. We're gonna have maybe 2 first-round picks this year. TCU's never had 2 first-round picks. I don't know if they've ever had a first rounder and a second rounder on the same team. It's kind of rare for a season like this to happen, and you're gonna have like your best draft performance in probably program history.
Where does this season, not necessarily the path we took to get there, but like A&M last year, weren't they the number 1 team in the country and they missed the tournament? Is this better or worse than that?
I think it's worse. Like, you can kind of excuse a little bit of the A&M thing with the whole Schloss drama and all that.
Plus
new coach.
Plus injuries that legitimately impacted the season.
Yeah. I mean, not to minimize the injuries that on this season, they impacted a little bit, but they didn't impact the offense. They didn't impact until maybe the last week. But
injuries didn't cause Sawyer Stroh-Snyder to be one of the lowest ranked hitters in the Big 12.
Yeah, and then that A&M team also had a much tougher schedule than what TCU had this year.
That's true.
It just seems like every team. I think every team we played against, we lost, either got swept or lost a series. And that's a fact. It just seemed like every team that we played that had a pulse, we just folded like a lawn chair. UCLA, Oklahoma State.
I'm gonna push back a little bit on that, because besides UCLA, which we got kicked in the teeth, and I'm gonna throw that one out. But against West Virginia, against Oklahoma State, I thought that's when the team actually showed a little teeth.
Yeah,
now, we lost 5 out of 6, sure, but
they played well enough to win.
The thing I saw with this team is the thing that's haunted them, not just this year, but the past couple years. They look like the second most excited team to play baseball way too often.
Yeah, but even I will agree with you. They did play better against Oklahoma State. That's on the road, and West Virginia was also on the road, which for some reason they really struggle on the road. I guess most teams do. But when you put yourself in a corner like you did to start the season against Arizona State and UCF, those are 2 other teams that made regionals, and TCU really struggled against them. TCU looked very bad against UCF. So when you do that early in the season, you really can't afford to lose 5 out of 6 in May or whatever, even if you are playing well.
If we're talking about just rising to the occasion, I thought, given where the bar is based on performances against, Arizona at home, for example, like where they just show up like, golly, can't believe we got to play baseball again. Yeah. Like there's just too much of that attitude. Now, compared to that, they looked like they were hungry to win against Oklahoma State and West Virginia. It just didn't work out that way.
That's really strange that a team can do that. I mean, they did it in one weekend to start the season. It was a very emotional game against Vandy and Arkansas, and then they come out super flat, not only against the eventual national champions, but also UT Arlington, which it's UT Arlington.
Hey, do you know what? So all that has in common. You talk about high energy. They looked excited to play baseball at the beginning of the year. And at the end, well, that's when TLP was back. And when they struggled, and didn't look excited. There was no TLP. I know he was in the dugout,
Yeah.
but
I don't know if there's causation there, but yeah.
Yes.
But but I can't just say, oh, no Tommy, so I don't feel like playing baseball anymore for
no,
8
it's not to
weeks.
give it an excuse. It's just
You know?
that timeline kind of matches up.
It does.
It's weird how that timeline matches up.
Yeah. It's just I don't know, man. He plays in a quarter of the games, every week. So, 3/4 of those games he was not going to play in anyway. So, I'm not sure what exactly was holding him back there.
I think we can speculate all night long. We could put out a 3-hour episode speculating, and we'll never really get to the truth. I think there's things that happen, whether it be the off season or over the course of the season, or maybe even last year or the year before, that it's just kind of it's kind of infected the culture, the locker room. We'll never know really what it is, but something just isn't right. Like, I watch these teams who had successful seasons and made runs to super regionals, and they look like they couldn't wait to show up to the ballpark to play baseball every day.
Yeah.
Now, granted, it's the postseason, but you don't get to the postseason unless you carry that attitude through March and April and May.
Yeah, and it's not to say, that other teams don't have highs and lows. It just felt like our majority of our season, we kind of flat lows.
I mean, just going through the motions is what it felt like.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then even
you know what, dude, that was the biggest concern for me when we did the preview. And it's like, what can stop this team? Well, the same just lackadaisical attitude that's killed us in the past, if that shows up again. But I didn't predict it to be a major concern given the amount of talent. Like, how can you not be excited to show up and play baseball given the roster that we have? But
I wonder if
I'll
it's
be
a
damned
bit
if they did it. They showed up flat.
If they
way too many times.
Bought way too much into the hype.
I don't think
just
so.
thought that they could come and out talent everyone.
I mean, maybe. I guess anybody's guess is as good as ours. So, but then you start to ask the questions. All right, whatever the problem is, even if we can't diagnose the specific issue, well, somebody has to take responsibility for it. And the first place you would look is the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not going anywhere. Now, Ray, you studied in depth the Buddy report. I did. Did you get anything out of that suggests, you know what? Yeah, it wasn't Kirk's fault. Let's run it back.
No.
Okay.
I mean, the Buddy report's always going to spin things in a positive nature. That's
right.
That's an athletic department's job. Okay. But it sounded like they had a stern conversation, and reading between the lines, this is only what I, the reader, was taking from this. This is my taking. I'm not saying this is the way it was, but it sounded like there was a stern talking to, and hey, you're going to have to make changes, or else. And you kind of see that as we're about to get into, with the letting go of Coach Mosiello.
Which was the most obvious foregone conclusion by about, I don't know, April 10th.
I think it seemed obvious to everyone outside of TCU baseball.
So was a stern conversation necessary to make that change? Like, I thought, if at the very least that change needs to be made.
Yeah, and for sure. And you already had Coach Lon going, retiring.
Right.
Which good luck.
So here's the way I'll say this, and I'm trying to be semi-delicate here and not be a shock jock. But I think if you have a culture problem, like, it's not like we're not getting talent. We've said this a million times. if you have a culture and an attitude problem, you need to change out the one responsible for setting the culture and the attitude.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. We obviously don't know because we're not within those walls.
Okay,
of how,
but we can at least narrow the possibilities of the issue to a certain range, right? Was it talent?
Right. No.
Is recruiting a problem? Is talent a problem?
No.
Even if you said no, it's not culture, it's not attitude, it's player development. Okay.
And I think that's where
the same applies.
Yeah.
I mean, really, like you could say if there's an ongoing issue year after year, it doesn't matter what it is. You have to change out the person responsible for whatever failures are in place.
Well,
and it's not Dave Lawn or Coach Mo that's responsible.
We talked about this, and I've likened it to football. Right? What does a coach do whenever he's on the hot seat in football?
It doesn't always follow this pattern, though. It doesn't
A
always.
good majority of the time, it's let's swap out the coordinators.
I mean, if we're talking about major programs that are anxious to win year after year, which we should be one of those programs, they really don't wait around.
No, but I mean, you still kind of, and maybe it's kind of like an NFL, thinking of the NFL more than college football.
Right, but that could happen after one bad year. You're firing your coordinators.
Yeah, I mean, even I mean, comparing football to baseball is kind of baseball is just kind of slow to act. There's only really a few teams in the SEC that are very quick to pull the plug on a guy who's not performing. I mean, baseball, you'll have a team who used to be good and they'll be terrible for decades before they finally make a move just because a guy did something, a decade ago, and obviously Kirk took the team to Omaha. So I mean, I just don't think college baseball for 90% of programs are going to pull the plug that quickly.
Well, so we mentioned Coach Mo's out. Coach Silverman is out, which give me your favorite Coach Silverman highlight in his career here.
There wasn't one.
I had
Did
it
not
written
like that
down.
dude.
I had it written down the incoming coaches, but I don't remember where I put that note. Who has that handy? Okay, I got it.
I've got it right here.
All right, go for it.
Incoming for Coach Mo, taking over from Texas State, Danny David Linhanen. It's his name kind of sounds like
that was Linehan.
Linehan. I don't. I think I was getting caught up. Have you ever watched the movie Crazy Stupid Love?
No.
And the dude that Steve Carell's wife, her coworker, cheats on him with, his name was similar to that.
That's an amazing, ironic note.
Yeah, I mean, for me it was. Taking over for the retiring coach, Dave Lawn, is Thomas Eshelman. He comes from the MLB minor league ranks. He was in the Baltimore Orioles organization, spent some time with San Diego, and was a stud pitcher at Cal State Fullerton. I mean, that dude's like, he was Preston Morrison.
I seem to remember his playing days out there at Fullerton. That name definitely rings a bell.
If you look up, his stats are stupid.
I think he has the career record for walk rate. He was at Cal State Fullerton the year that Kirk came to TCU as a pitching coach.
Okay, did he go by Tommy Eshelman back in the day? Okay, that's what rings a bell. Tommy Eshelman.
Yeah, Tommy Eshelman. I'm pretty sure Kirk recruited him to go to Cal State Fullerton.
Yes.
Okay. John DeLora returns as recruiting coordinator.
And
he got promoted.
He got a promotion. Yeah, he got a promotion.
Okay, it's great.
He is now an assistant head coach.
I mean, look, if
associate head coach,
associate, yeah.
If recruiting is his resume, it's really hard to ignore that. You know,
he's done very well.
Personally, if just real quick, if we go back to the whole, how do we fix a culture problem? I think everybody's got to go. I would have been real sad, not only for Kirk, I would have been sad to see Kirk go on a personal level, but I would have been also sad for John DeLora to go from a performance level. I don't really know the guy. We haven't had him on or anything, but on a performance level, I would have been sad to see him go. But I think if you're going to do a culture change, you gotta dig deep and, root it out.
Yeah.
But that aside, finally, Brian Holiday joins as the bench coach and catchers coach.
Dude, you think we're going to have
Silverman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If Silverman, he was in charge of catching last year, not a lot for him to hang his hat on to retain his job. The catching position overall was quite poor.
It was just a bad fit. That's not really his strength. He was more of a pitching coach, pitching coordinator type guy, like at Cal Poly and his other stops, Washington. He was more of a. He's never really been a catching guy, and the catching.
I bet more role was catching as it relates to working with the pitching staff.
Yeah, probably like framing and stuff. I think he was supposed to be like a transfer portal type of recruiting guy. I just don't
debate how that worked out.
Yeah, I just don't. I just think it was just bad fit.
Okay. Any thoughts on? Look, I'll be honest. I don't know how to look at an assistant coach and say, "Yeah, this is going to work," or you know what, I hate this hire. It's kind of just for me, wait and see, hope for the best.
Yeah, for sure. Because we don't know, but I like the results that they have gotten from their previous stops. If you look at these coaches,
yeah,
I'm excited. We finally get some young guys. It seems like we've been just bringing in guys past their heyday, and it's nice to get some new blood of guys that are moving on their way up in their coaching career.
Yeah, you talk about energy. There's energy right there. Right. And you're not going to have a culture problem that you talk about when you bring in Brian Holiday, because I always think back to his famous locker room speech where he kicked Schloss and the coaches out after they lost game 2 of the Super Regionals to Texas.
That is a great point. If they made that part of his job as, kind of locker room feel guy and just kind of what's going on.
That'd be great. Because I talked about morale was a huge letdown this year.
Shout out Robin.
It's been determined that next year will in fact be good. That is great to hear because I'm not having very much fun.
Breaking. Scoop.
We don't know. We don't know how these coaching hires will impact the team right now as of June 26th in the year of our Lord 2026. But it is exciting. And, whether his hand was forced or not, Kirk went out there and made what I reasonably think are good hires.
I really, 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 really want to believe that his hand was not forced.
I don't think.
Like, how can you look at this offense, and say, what? I got to change out the hitting coach? What?
I don't think it went down quite like that. I don't want
to fire my hitting coach.
No one's that clueless to how bad this year went. No one can look at this year and say, I see nothing but good things.
Yeah,
right?
let's run it back.
Yeah, I got my boys with me. No, but the willing to go out and, Kirk broke from his usual hiring mold here.
Which is great because it hasn't really been fruitful.
It is. And I think sometimes, for better or worse, with the Sarlos era and I know we're 5-6 years in, and it's kind of hard to say, oh, learning. And I'm not trying to give them the benefit of the doubt there, but the ability to change yourself and reinvent and say, hey, these are my weaknesses as a head coach. Let's go address this, and maybe I can fill that void with some good assistance.
I just had a thought. Do you think, given Kurt's nature, if there is like a culture issue in the locker room, do you think he's not the personality type that can fix that kind of thing, but maybe someone like Brian Holiday can be, if assuming he's given that leash to take that kind of role? Do you think that's part of why he was brought in?
I don't know. I think Kirk can be stern. I mean, he's got
It's not about being
his
stern. It's about setting a culture and controlling it.
yeah.
And I think he's just a little bit like what I get from him. His personality is just too hands off and laid back.
California cool.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he wants to be like that, but I think this year he was very hands-on, and I think he hated it because it was bad all the time. It's like he's putting his hands on something that's not going well. So I think it would be good if he gets ahead of it. It seems like he has. I mean, the type of guys that he brought in this year, he mentions it in his or in, I forget who mentions it, but it's in Jamie's article about the overhaul. You know, the JUCO guys, how they're grateful and they're hungry and they're this or that. That shows the type of guys that he's bringing in, guys that are ready to fight for for an opportunity for to be here. It'd be nice if the assistants that he brings in can kind of do, because it's similar to what we talk about TCU baseball players, that there's not a lot of guys that come to TCU who are that, born to be the rah leader type, right? So Kirk is not going to be the super disciplinarian. So hopefully he can bring in some assistants who can do that for this team. And if you just have a team that's going right, I mean, we've seen what they can do when Kirk is this hands off. Everybody loves playing at TCU. Everybody's having a great time. They can go to Omaha.
Yeah. 100%.
Those are great points. Anything else on coaching changes?
Have they said who's gonna replace Danny Wheat?
That may be a big one too.
Dr. Nick, I don't know.
All right. No longer just gonna rub dirt on it.
So let's tackle this beast, because Martin, you talked about the JUCO guys coming in. I'm gonna shout out Jamie for this spreadsheet he put together, because it makes driving this conversation a lot easier, because guys, we essentially have a whole new team coming in next year.
Yeah, mention where they can find it if they want to.
Yeah,
it's through his Base 12 Twitter page.
That or Horn Frog Blitz. It's I'm pulling it off Horn Frog Blitz.
Oh,
Base 12.
Base 12's sent that link out too.
Okay.
And it breaks down the entire Big 12 transfer portal.
Yeah. So there's that, but I'm looking at his color-coded list on Horn Frog Blitz.
Oh, gotcha.
So let's talk about some guys who are headed out. Obviously, you had the outgoing seniors. We wish them all well. We won't belabor that on this episode because there's a lot to cover here. But I'll just name some names I think are maybe the most impactful or surprising, or one or the other. Maybe not necessarily surprising, but impactful. or vice versa. Maybe not so impactful, but surprising. I don't know. So we'll start with Nolan Traeger and Brady Dallimore, both of our catchers. Nolan Traeger heads to Arkansas. As Travis said, my second favorite team.
You do love Arkansas.
I'll call the hogs on you.
There's a big Arkansas LSU rivalry going on.
Oh boy, is there.
Man, what SEC team should be my second favorite?
Go Tigers.
On the 2027 Patreon, we're going to have an upgraded subscription for SEC Plus.
Maybe I should be an Oklahoma fan since they just won a natty.
Oh, bandwagon. See, I decided to go for LSU whenever they're down.
So I would put these in the category, let's see, Nolan Traeger, I would put it in the category of more impactful than surprising. Not all that surprising, really. For Dallimore, I would say both a little surprising and very impactful.
I was pretty surprised Dallimore transferred. I mean, you don't often see players like that transfer away from TCU.
I would say it's our first time we've had an impactful undergrad, or not undergrad, like what's the word?
High school recruit.
Lower underclassmen, like a sophomore or a freshman. First time we've had an impactful freshman or sophomore transfer.
Yeah.
A productive underclassman transfer.
Yeah, there you go. CJ Mascaro also leaves. He was hurt most of the year. Game. Yeah.
Does it say where he's going?
I don't know where he's going. Did we say where Dallimore's going?
Oh, yeah, he's going to Ole Miss. Mascaro's going to New Mexico State.
Okay. I don't have where they're going written down. On the position player side, Kai Scargett and Jack Bell. Jack Bell, impactful, absolutely. Surprising? Mildly surprising.
I honestly thought Jack would get drafted and signed. I thought that would be his exit this year.
It could still happen.
Yeah, we'll see.
Jack
what about Caius?
A&M.
Would you call Caius's transfer surprising or impactful, or both, or neither?
It was
didn't play that much.
Surprising. It was a little surprising because he didn't enter the portal right away like most of these other guys did.
True. This could Caius's transfer could be due to maybe incomers.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe he would have preferred to stay, but maybe the conversation was you're going to have to really battle for playing time, and he's like, I don't know, I could go somewhere else and be a walk-in starter. Like I had to battle at Kentucky, I have to battle at TCU. I need to get some regular playing time, I thought he should have played more in 2026. So, I don't know.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, so we talked about Mascaro. Now some pitchers: Tyler Finau, Cade Durnan, Trevor Baumler. I would put Trevor Baumler in the more surprising and impactful category.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really have him on my radar as a guy who's like, yeah, he's probably going to transfer, because watch Nolan Traeger. I thought, yeah, he's probably going to transfer, right? Like throughout the season.
Yeah.
I never got that feeling from Trevor Baumler.
No, but you kind of get it, though. He probably wants to go somewhere and start.
Yeah, I get it. I'm just surprised he went to Arizona.
Yeah.
Isn't
he from
anything
from
on
Iowa?
Oh.
Anything on Finau or Durnan?
Finau's going to Minnesota.
Okay.
Is that
Good
back
luck to
home?
him.
That is back home.
I thought Finau, to his credit, as rough. I mean, it was about as rough as a start could be for a pitcher. His start to the 2026 year. I thought he was pretty good towards the end.
He was pretty good towards the end. So any surprises on guys who are staying? Does Noah Franco staying surprise you?
Noah Franco staying.
He was definitely a guy I watched this year and thought, yeah, he's probably not coming back next year.
I thought it was possible, but I mean, guys really like being at TCU, and I think he's one of those guys.
He just loves Fort Worth, dude.
He's not going to have to, playing time's not going to be an issue for him, I don't think.
And I think with him this year, I think he was probably more hurt than, I mean, of course, we never know, right? We knew the oblique. And it seemed that bothered him a lot longer. Like whenever he came back, he wasn't 100%. I don't think he finished the year 100%.
So to me, it seems like Noah Franco is a pitching prospect, even at the college level. Like he's a guy that needs a lot of development, and an injury can really derail that for a guy like him. Like he's not so polished on the mound that he can come back from an injury and just be right back to, his peak self.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think part of that is because I think at this point in his career, I think he's more of a pitching prospect than he is a hitting prospect at the next level. And I think that has a lot to do with why he came back. I think he's going to go the route of Peyton Tolley. I think he's going to be one of our weekend starters. I think he's going to be pitching only. And the reason for that is, not a lot of guys get drafted when they're striking out, 30% of the time in college. That doesn't translate well at the next level. But the stuff is there. It's a move that he can make where he can – throw 90 innings, strike out 130 guys, and he'll be a first-round pick next year. Yeah. Whereas he can't really do that on the offensive side.
A couple other guys, I would say Mason Brassfield coming back is not a shock, but a little surprising considering he kind of lost his job in the rotation.
Yeah. To be honest, I wouldn't have been surprised one way or the other if anyone transferred.
I agree.
To be honest.
And given how the season went, I'm not sad to see anyone really go, to be honest with you. I like Jack Bell. Jack Bell, but 2 years here and it's not like we were winning because of him or, I don't know. I'm trying to think of how I'm saying this. Like, when you miss the tournament 2 out of 3 years and you go 2 in barbecue in that third year, like who are you really excited to hang on to?
Yeah, that's true.
Nate Stern's coming back.
Like that.
Well, the portal's not closed, right? Like,
yeah, you still got a couple of days. We could have some. Yeah. We could have some surprisey.
Okay, Lucas Franco staying.
That one was surprising.
That surprised me too.
That's the most surprising returner, right?
Yeah.
Just because he was a big-time high school recruit that lost his job at the end of the year, and usually the way that plays out is they're going to take their ball and go somewhere else to apply their talents.
Yeah, I mean, that's not like an indictment on Lucas Franco's, personality or anything. That's just more of a generalization of how it goes.
Yeah, that's just how it usually goes. Like somebody like Ryder Robinson.
Right. Yeah. Or
so it's surprising.
Like who was the pitcher that was pretty good for us and then ended up transferring to UCF?
Caden Smith.
Caden Smith, yeah.
Oh, Caden Smith, yeah.
Okay, Nelson comes back. Just want to make sure we cover these returners or all the guys from between. Zach James. Okay, yeah, that's it. That's where I was going to go. Actually, not surprised he's coming back just because of the way he's actually developed under Kirk.
Yeah.
Probably wants to, run that back. And, I'm glad to have Zach James back.
Yeah. And he's local.
Yeah.
Indeed. You can look at these next couple of guys as like portal additions, guys that missed almost all the
that's where I
entire
was
year.
going to go is the injury guys. So Luis Rodriguez, K Duty, those are kind of the two key guys coming back from injury.
You could put Barrientos and Fernsler in there too.
Yeah, but I'm talking about guys who have already produced at TCU.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, Barrientos looked very good in his very limited, his 1.5 outing.
And Ethan Thomas too. I don't want to just breeze over that. Like he looked like he was going to be a key bullpen arm before his injury. So, all right, we have just unlimited guys coming in via high school in the portal. We do not have time to go through each and every one of them. We will do that in January, right after the new year. We will talk about each and every player. But right now, Martin, let's just hit on some highlights. Or I think you've kind of categorized these guys.
Yeah, right? Yeah. So I think I got about 3.5 categories. A big one is a big JUCO class. I'm gonna go ahead and lump the D2 transfer in there also.
Yeah.
Ryan Bradford from Johnson County Community College. Everybody had him as a top 3 hitter in all of JUCO. A lot of rating systems or whatever had him number 1 overall. He hit 437, 522 on base, and slugged over 1,000, 42 home runs, 24 doubles, 6 triples, 26 stolen bases. He was getting freaking talk about golden spikes as a JUCO player. So that should tell you, the kind of production he put up.
I mean, you breeze through those stats, but I think you need to say that slug again.
Yeah, he slugged over 1,000. So slugging is what, base per plate appearance? So he's getting over 1 base every.
That means, okay, so if for an entire season you reached first base, you slug 1,000.
Yeah.
So every time you make an out, you got to hit a double to make up for that. You make 2 outs, you got to hit a triple. You make 3 outs, you got to hit a home run. So for him to average a base per plate appearance, that I think saying it that way kind of puts it in terms of how ridiculous that stat is.
Yeah, it's insane.
He reached per plate appearance for an entire season, not like 10 at bats. An entire season, a base per plate appearance.
Yeah, and they play a ton of games. They won a national championship in Grand Junction. They went all the way, which that's always nice,
go like
right?
48-2 or something crazy.
Something crazy, but it's always nice, to be the best player on the best team that wins a trophy.
And to have a lobby that wants you to win golden spikes.
Yeah, because this is not Bryce Harper. He didn't get a bunch of media hype beforehand. This is literally just production based.
But he built his hype.
Yeah. Some other big JUCO guys, Bammer Mays and
what a great name.
Yeah. Bammer Mays infielder, Caleb Eager catcher. 2 of the top JUCO freshmen in the country in 2026. Yep. Both of them, they were at Midland. They're coming to Fort Worth. I think both of them are from the DFW area originally, so that's always nice. They actually had their season ended by Ryan Bradford in Johnson County. I think they were top 4.
Is this going to be like Team USA training camp in 1980, where they're going to fight, and then Kirk's going to have to let them just get it out of their system, and they say, "Who do you play for?"
Sounds like the Mighty Ducks.
No, you remember when? No, you've seen Miracle, right?
Yes.
When the guys from Boston University and Minnesota played each other in the Natty.
Oh, yeah.
So both hit 22 home runs. Both hit over 400. Both slugged over 800. the Bags Plus rating that I was looking at, it's just like a rating system. Look it up. So it had Ryan Bradford number 1 overall. It had Bammer Mace 36th and Eager ranked 71st. So,
And what are those rankings again?
So it's a offensive like player rating type deal where it just rates their offensive performances, gives it a round 3-digit number. I think 200 is the max, and Ryan Bradford put up a 197, so he pretty much put up almost a perfect offensive season.
Well, I mean, if you're standing on first after basically every
like what's his weakness?
Yeah, so I think it said like 175 was like you're an elite player, and no 170. Yeah, 175 elite player. He's at 197, and then Bammer Mays and Eager were like 145 and 151. Both very good.
Doesn't Bradford steal a lot of bases too?
Yeah, he had 26 steals, 24 doubles, and 6 triples. He's got some speed. He's gonna be in the outfield.
Do you think he slides into center? I know we're a long way away from that, but
yeah, it's possible. It's possible.
Yeah.
Okay. He also hit leadoff for Johnson County, so that's pretty cool.
Dude, talk about solving your leadoff problem issues.
Yeah,
just slide a Golden Spikes finalist into the spot.
Yeah. Another big JUCO addition was Yusei Uzawa. He was listed as second baseman, but I think he played mostly left field or right field for
okay, yep.
Butler Community College. Originally from Japan. Let's see. In 107 junior college games in over 2 years, he put up a 360 batting average, 532 on base, 553 slugging. He had 65 stolen bases, 102 walks, and 134 runs scored. Obviously, his game is to get on base, steal a base, and then come around and score. Another JUCO guy, Benjamin Schroeder, right-handed pitcher from College of Southern Nevada. He's 6'4", 215, pitched out of the bullpen, 1.25 ERA in 36 innings, struck out 34. And then the D2 transfer is George Gilson. He's an outfielder. He hit 395 with a 475 on base, slugged 755 with 13 home runs, 5 triples, 23 doubles, 30 stolen bases at D2 Flagler College.
Okay.
Man, can I say real quick? I just love, and this kind of goes back to coaching changes and all that. And it feels like TCU definitely changed kind of their recruiting philosophy, kind of went back to basics. I mean, we've seen other teams, heck, here in the Big 12, West Virginia and Kansas lean heavy into JUCO. Oklahoma, who just won a natty, lean heavy into JUCO. And it kind of felt like TCU had gotten away from that these last couple of years.
They got to, but very few teams recruit from high school the way TCU has. So they probably felt like there were fewer gaps to fill than these other schools who are JUCO heavy. Now, with that in mind, we're bringing in this huge JUCO class and transfer class in whole, but we also have a heck of a high school class to talk about, especially on the position player side. Only 2 pitchers coming in.
Yeah,
maybe just one.
True. Yeah, we'll get to draft risk in a minute, but right now on paper, we have 2 pitchers and 7 position players coming in.
Yeah, and that was by design because of so many seniors that we had going out this year. I don't know if they were exactly planning to recruit so many JUCO position players or transfer position players with all the guys that left. But the thing that I like these guys. I like their numbers. They look like they're going to be good players. This is also like the 3rd time that TCU has changed their recruiting strategy. year one, after most of the guys left from that, Braden Taylor, Elijah Nunez team, they went heavy in the portal. A lot of bounce backs. A lot of guys who were transferring down from like SEC schools. That didn't work out. So then it seems like they went heavy on the high school. And then, that takes time, and it just feels like they don't have a lot of time right now. So they need some instant impact.
Well, we did ask Kirk about this, and we tried to nail him down to a particular strategy, and if I remember correctly, he kind of says they try to stay fluid to the needs of the team.
Yeah.
So I guess that kind of makes sense, right?
I also wonder how recruiting strategy will be, high school recruiting strategy will be affected with that 5-for-5 that's about to be passed.
Yeah.
Right. You kind of, unless you're like an uber elite high school kid, there might not be a lot of opportunities for you. You might have to lean heavier into, you're going to be leaning more heavy into the portal.
True, but the freshmen got to go somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, my thing is, if you're targeting the guys who are going to make an impact on your team immediately, or at least soon, that's the most important thing. Doesn't really matter where they come from. Doesn't matter if they come from a G5 school, a Power 4 drop down, or a SEC guy that didn't play. If you think he can make an impact on the team, that's all I care about. I don't care if they come from high school. I don't care if they come from JUCO, Division II. Just be better at evaluating the talent and getting the best guys.
Yeah, that's the big thing. And finding pieces that fit.
So we're excited about a lot of these guys. We could do a whole episode on Ryan Bradford alone.
Yeah.
What's the draft risk
on these?
Not just for him, but who would you say is at highest risk in the draft
for these JUCO guys and the Division II guys?
All of them. The whole incoming.
The whole team.
Oh, the whole
shebang.
I would probably
you can start with Lance Davis.
Yeah. The biggest draft risk in general, I think, is going to be the high school kid from Fresno, Logan Georges, Clovis, California, right-handed pitcher. He's 6'5", like 215, something like that. Big guy, big power righty. He's basically like Tommy Lepore that hasn't filled out yet, is what I see when I look at him.
He has a fastball sitting around 95, 96 with a slider at 80 to 81, has a perfect game grade of a 10 out of 10.
I give it a 10.
Sounds like a guy that's going to get drafted.
Yeah, the only thing is, he's not a SoCal guy, so he's not. I mean, if he was a SoCal guy, he'd be like top 10 pick or something hype. But he's also has. I think he's already had Tommy John surgery, so I think he missed his junior year, which is a big year. He's also a draft eligible sophomore, so there's not that risk of going to college and you have to go there for 3 years. He can come 2 years and then he'll be back in the draft.
Okay, Martin, I just had a crazy thought. I'm glad you said that he's a draft eligible sophomore. We're pretty sure MLB's headed for a lockout.
Definitely.
Good point. That's a good
you heard
point.
It here first.
Why would you just? I wouldn't be surprised if he's just pulled his name out and said, "Well, I'm just going to go to TCU for 2 years." And then
y'all figure out your collective bargaining. And
figure it out.
You know where to find me.
Holler at me later.
That's actually a really good point. The real draft risk is the league itself.
Yeah, you might not get to play next year.
Yeah.
Hey, who cares if one team comes to you and says you want $3 million?
Okay.
You care about anything else?
I would I would, $3 million.
I'd bet on
That
myself
could buy
and
a jet
say,
ski.
man. Yeah.
Yeah, you can buy a lot of jet skis with $3 million, but
Dude, do you know how fun jet skis are? Like,
yeah. All it takes is one team, to like you so much that because there's a lot of risk for a pitcher to go to college and they get injured or we've seen it a ton of times with a few guys. They took a risk on themselves and then they had a bunch of injuries.
Who?
Matt Perk.
Okay, that was 16 years ago.
Cademan Parker.
That's a good one.
Who was the other guy? Mitch Traver was highly touted out of high school, and he spent 6 years at TCU.
Okay. Okay. What about Ryan Bradford?
Yeah, there is some risk. It's not as high as Logan George's, but I went back and I looked at who was the best hitter in JUCO last year, and he ended up being like a 13th round pick by the Phillies. It just really depends. It really depends what his goals are. If he's okay with being like a top 10-ish round, like 10 to 13 round pick, and if he's okay with signing that, or if he wants to, we had a guy. Forgot his freaking name, which we've said his name like a million times on this podcast. What was his name? Guy took us to Omaha from McLennan.
It's been a long week, brother.
Sorry, muted. Cole Fontenelle?
What? Yes, Cole Fontenelle. Cole Fontenelle could have signed out of JUCO, and he decided him and what was the lefty that was pitching with Lodolo? He's with the Reds also now.
Brandon Williamson.
Yeah. Both of those guys could have signed out of JUCO, but they wanted to come to TCU for a year and elevate their draft stock, and there's a lot less risk in doing that than pitchers.
Hey, you talk about Lodolo, and one name we didn't mention in someone that's coming back that was hurt a majority of this year was Uli Fernsler. And I know he got roughed up a little bit.
Ray?
I don't remember hearing it, so maybe
he got roughed up a lot of it.
Yeah, but he looked good, at least getting roughed up.
What?
He's a project.
Yeah, hopefully he's healthy. I mean, nobody should be pitching if they're not healthy.
Especially if you're a project.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. We're in an hour 10. So let's end with this. Any fun plans for the summer? This is our last episode till we do some ad hoc episodes at some point.
I will be grinding away at school as I have started my journey back at school. And these 5-week classes, they come quick. In fact, I got to take a final. I got to take a final already tomorrow. I started this class on Memorial Day, and I'm already taking a final for this class.
It'd be like
Have you joined a frat?
I haven't rushed yet. Maybe in the fall.
Russian Beta, Kappa Beta.
I got to check out. They got to recruit me.
Yeah, hey, you got to get one of those agents that shop you around to different frats.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Show him your tweets shitting on LSU baseball.
Yeah, right.
What about you, Martin? Gone fishing or anything?
Plans for the summer? No.
Trying to think if I have anything on the calendar.
I seem to think you might have one thing.
What am I missing?
I think end of July, sometime the end of July.
Oh yeah, the wedding. That's right.
Yeah,
getting married
for a fourth time.
Yeah, fourth. No, not quite.
Four times the charm. But you got a good one, Jacob.
Yeah.
Shout out Tiff. Really cool what she did. Jacob, in fact, celebrated a birthday too last week.
Oh, yeah.
And his
Yeah, thank
fiance
you boys
put
for coming out.
together a cool surprise party for him.
Yeah, Jacob, don't fuck it up.
Yeah, don't fuck this one up.
Don't fuck this one up, Jacob.
Yeah, that'll be Martin's wedding speech. There's his toast.
Can't wait for that. So yeah, July 25th. I expect to see you boys there in your finest tuxedo t-shirts.
Yeah, if you're listening to this, you're invited.
Yeah.
And the following day, we'll be flying out to Italy for 2 weeks.
Whoa,
Give me
non-disclosure.
your best Italy travel tips.
Tried the
They got college baseball in Italy?
Dimitri, you might go see Dimitri pitch. Doesn't he pitch in Italy?
I might hit up Dimitri and go see Dimitri. So the wedding date was actually, semi-strategically planned. Well, it was for a lot of factors, but it does happen to coincide with the dead time of the sports calendar, which I am looking forward to.
You got her to sign off on that.
Yeah.
I mean, there were other factors involved for sure, but no, it just coincidentally fell on a dead period. But it's not just good for this year, but think about anniversary trips.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can get out of Texas for a week or so every couple of years, every year, whatever. And come back for football season, all refreshed and ready to go. So
look at that. Oh, hey, you just started a new job too. Man, everything is coming up Millhouse right now.
Yeah. Curry Cup champ.
Yeah.
Curry Cup? Yeah. He's got his purple jacket.
The year of Jacob.
Yeah, dude, right? Man, you were right about TC baseball from the get-go, from all along.
No,
Man, it really is.
I predicted them to win the conference. I was not.
Yeah, but you're the first to see it.
I had my concerns, but not enough to say, yeah, I don't feel good.
Oh, dude.
I felt great going into the season.
Elise brings up a good point. Should we toadcast your wedding?
Toadcast the wedding.
Did we say that? Consummating the marriage?
Sitting in the cuck chair.
Jesus.
Look at Jacob over there, Martin. He's grunting like an overheated water buffalo.
All right, that'll do it for Postgame Beers 2026.
We'll see you in the fall.
Been a fun season.
We got fall.
Appreciate all the Elise and Mama Yudi and Travis and everybody else that's followed us along in the comments all season. Yeah, kind of sad that this is our last episode, but we'll come back in January refreshed and all hyped up for a new season. So,
dude,
until then, if you're a subscriber to the Patreon, you might find some free content. We might pop on in the fall for some fall ball episodes. So,
yeah.
We have nothing on the schedule as of this time, but it won't be the last time you see us before next year's previews. But
I imagine we'll do an episode around the time the schedule comes out.
And we'll have guests too. I know MK's working on booking Mike Buddy again, and we'll have some we'll have ad hoc interviews. So
it's a good idea. Hey, right, guest booking league. Let's do a guest booking league for the
I thought about that actually. Any last thoughts before we get out of here?
Yeah, Mama Yudi's doing a space on Twitter. Everybody go join over there.
Okay.
Oh, I will do that as I'm about to head to Fort Worth for the night. Check in on our good friends Cam and PB.
All right. Well, if this is the last time we talk to Ray.
Yeah. He's gonna burn Buffalo Bros down to the fucking ground.
Ray, would you like to leave Martin your debt and your will?
Hey, Martin, do you want my student loan debt?
There, no. That's legally binding, Martin.
Yeah. Hey, in fact, yeah, I'll make my will out right now live on the air. All right, boys. Mama Yudi, you get Zoe. I know you'll take good care of her.
Are your debt collectors your emergency contact?
It just says Martin Guerrero.
Your full ride to LSU. Get my doctorate.
Yeah. Yeah, we are. We do have a full ride to LSU, 100% paid for.
I call dibs on that.
Can I get some Fritos?
That's pretty good. It might be I can throw in some chips.
Some stale Fritos.
Chips for the inconvenience of the debt collectors.
Elise is running the LDC Discord, so if you haven't joined that, I remember like twice a season that we have one of those, and I'll
bless Elise for doing that, because
it'd be so dead right now because I forget about it all the time, constantly forgetting. So, any last thoughts? Anything else?
I'm excited to see how these changes play out in the summer into the fall workouts. It kind of feels, I know it's not a totally a new slate, but there is energy. There's new energy. It's not the, hey, we came up just a bit short, we can run it back. Changes were made. We wanted changes. We got changes. And can't wait to see how it plays out.
Yep. All you can do is be optimistic, right?
Yeah.
Or
why not? What's the point of being a fan if you can't have a little optimism?
No, I mean, in your life. All right. Yep. All right, boys.
I guess it is tough being an Arkansas fan because there is no optimism. There's Hey, Tiff, go Tigers.
Yes.
We're gonna steal the boot back.
You heard it here first. Stealing the boot back. All right, that's it. See y'all. Go Frogs.
See you, boys.